Well, I'm Hector Puig, owner of Hector Picture Framing and Galleries. The first and most important thing that I would say is it's basically one piece at a time, you know, not to be scared of collecting. My very first piece that I got was from Lenny Kessel, in terms of what I perceive is fine art. And it was a collage with gouache mixed, and I actually paid him on time. It was $300 back in 1986. And I paid him $20 a week until I paid it off. Interesting anecdote that I will share with you, just so that you know, because this falls in the advice of collecting. Lenny and I were having this conversation one time. We traveled together to New York, Atlanta. During one of the conversations we were having, he says to me, I have a question for you. He says, are you still collecting for the sake of possession, or are you collecting because you want to put it up on your wall and enjoy it? And at that point, I thought about it briefly, and I said, well, the answer is quite obvious. I want to enjoy it and put it up. Upon me answering that, he said, you're not a collector yet. And I was dumbfounded by that. A few years later, I'm in the gallery. A friend of mine from Orlando, who I helped become a collector, had stopped by. And he saw 4 or 5 boxes on a corner of the gallery that I hadn't opened. They had been there for a few days. And they were of carvings that had come from Puerto Rico. And he says to me, Hector, what are those boxes over there? I said, those are carvings from Puerto Rico. And he goes, you haven't opened them? And I said, I don't have to open them. And I had a flashback to what Lenny said, and I understood then what he meant by that. Mm-hmm. So in my mind at that point is when I realized I'm finally a collector in Lenny's eyes. Because once you acquire something, at least from my perspective, before you even put it up to enjoy it, you're already thinking about the next piece. And most people qualify that as hoarding or qualify that as obsession, but it is an obsession. You don't really understand, or sometimes often you can't articulate as to why you do it. You do it with extremely important pieces. You do it with pieces that will help the collection become a little better or balance the collection. But it isn't important, you know. The fact that you have the piece and it balances the collection is what makes it important. But my goal, my aim, my desire has always remained the same in supporting the arts across the board